No one wants to be in a position where they can't repay their debts. It can put a lot of stress on you and your whānau. But there is help available if you're facing financial difficulties and can't seem to get on top of things. If you owe more than $50,000 in unsecured debt that you just can't repay, bankruptcy might be the right insolvency option for you. The good news is that once you're bankrupt, creditors can't keep chasing you for payment, which can provide some relief. Bankruptcy typically lasts for 3 years, and once it's over, most of your debts will be wiped clean. However, it's important to know that some debts, like court fines and reparations, child support and maintenance payments, won't be included in your bankruptcy. You'll need to keep paying those debts even when you're bankrupt.
Things have been really hard recently, and my debts, well, they're getting on top of me. I had a good job, but I got laid off a few months ago, and I've been struggling to scrape together the money to pay my bills ever since. My mortgage payments, well, they've fallen behind, and I've been missing my utility bills too now. Now I'm getting penalty and interest charges on top of everything else. I already have a debt consolidation loan, but everything is so expensive these days. I'm using my credit card to buy food and fuel, but because I can't clear the balance each month, the interest just keeps adding up. All up, my debt's come to over $50,000 now. I just don't know what to do.
Thank you, Jono, for sharing your experience. It's tough when life throws unexpected challenges your way, and debt can quickly become overwhelming. With over $50,000 owing, bankruptcy is the only formal insolvency option available to you. It offers a fresh start, but it's essential to understand its implications. Your name will be on the Public Insolvency Register throughout your bankruptcy period and for 4 years after your discharge. Your credit rating will also be affected for up to 7 years. This is the usual length of time that your name will appear on the Insolvency Register, but some credit agencies operate public websites and they may keep your credit history for longer than 7 years. This may affect your access to some banking or money lending services. If you apply for bankruptcy, the Insolvency and Trustee Service, acting on behalf of the official assignee, will look after your bankruptcy. They will contact everyone you owe money to on your behalf.
It would be a relief to not have to deal with my creditors anymore. I feel bad about the whole situation, and I just don't think I can face them. What would happen to my car, and more importantly, my house, if I go bankrupt?
You can keep your car as long as its value is below $6,500. You will also be able to keep up to $1,300 in the bank, most of your household furniture, and any necessary tools of trade. However, your house will be considered an asset in your bankruptcy, even if you're still paying off your mortgage. If there's equity in the property, the official assignee may sell it to help pay back your creditors. They will contact your bank to find out how much is owing on the mortgage and decide on the appropriate course of action from there. Remember, you must be transparent about your assets. You'll need to declare any assets you have to the official assignee in a statement of affairs. The official assignee will then assess their value and decide on the necessary actions.
What happens to my student loan when I'm bankrupt? Until I lost my job, repayments were automatically taken out of the wages. Will that start up again when I find another job?
Your student loan will be included in your bankruptcy debts. You won't need to make any repayments towards it while you're bankrupt. And at the end of your bankruptcy, just like the other debts included in your bankruptcy, your student loan will be wiped clean.
One more thing, will the official assignee manage my bank account when I'm bankrupt? Will they tell me what I can and can't spend money on? I couldn't imagine that.
I understand your worries, and it's natural to have questions about the official assignee's role during bankruptcy. The official assignee won't manage your bank account. You'll still have control over your day-to-day spending, but they will need to be aware of your income, expenses, and assets. Part of the official assignee's role is to ensure a fair distribution of available funds to your creditors. So they will look at how much you earn and assess whether you're in a position to be able to make regular payments towards your debts during your bankruptcy period. Your bank will have the biggest influence on how you can manage your money. The bank may close your accounts or limit how you use them. For example, You might not have access to internet banking, or you may not be able to have a credit card or debit card. You may also find that it's harder to get credit after you've been discharged. Each bank has its own policies in regard to bankruptcy, so it's a good idea to talk to your bank beforehand to understand how you might be affected.
I own my own business and lately it's been tough. My inland revenue debt has piled up and I realised 6 months ago that I needed help. I went to see Inland Revenue about a payment arrangement, but between my original debt, penalties and interest, it just wasn't an option anymore. I'd let things go on for too long before acting and now it's all caught up with me. It was all too overwhelming at the time and now the Inland Revenue has put me into bankruptcy. What happens now?
Thank you, Sarah, for opening up about your situation. Facing financial challenges can be difficult, but we're here to guide you through this process. The first thing you must do now that you're bankrupt is complete a statement of affairs. A statement of affairs is crucial as it lists your assets, liabilities, income and expenses. You can fill out this form online and it's really important that you do this as soon as possible, as it will affect the date that you're discharged from bankruptcy in the future. Putting off completing the form means you'll stay bankrupt for longer.
I appreciate the information, but my business is my livelihood. I'm really worried about its future during my bankruptcy. Can I continue to be self-employed now that I'm bankrupt?
Good question, Sarah. You need approval from the official assignee to be self-employed once you're bankrupt. And you can make an application to the official assignee and it will be assessed on your individual circumstances. While you're bankrupt, you won't be able to serve as the director of a company, and you also need the official assignee's consent to manage a business or to be employed by a relative.
I'm finding this all really stressful and I don't have a lot of family around. Can I go and visit my mum in Australia? Her home cooking always makes me feel better.
Support from family can make a world of difference. However, while you're bankrupt, the official assignee needs to approve any overseas travel. It's best to submit an application and obtain the necessary approval before making any travel plans. Bankruptcy comes with some restrictions, but it does offer a way out from unmanageable debt. Once you're discharged, you won't have these debts hanging over you anymore. You'll have a fresh start, free from the burden of debt. For more information about your insolvency options, go to insolvency.govt.nz. Remember, bankruptcy is a significant step and it's crucial to consider all options and seek professional advice before deciding. There may be other alternatives that better suit your unique situation. Money Talks is a free helpline offering budgeting advice to individuals, family and whānau. They can put you in touch with financial mentors who can help you understand your financial situation, organise your debt and plan for the future. Call 0800 345 123.